Hey everyone, it's Lynnea here for Miss Ink Stamps, and today we're going to create a really easy but vibrant fall card. I used some of my favorite fall products from Miss Ink Stamps. I have the new Fall Mandala Stencil. This is absolutely gorgeous. It's a really detailed stencil and I love the way it looks. So I'm going to start with that for my background. Now you can see how detailed and fine the stencil is. So this is one of those stencils that you definitely want to use some sort of temporary adhesive spray. My favorite is Pixie Spray because I love how it's easy to apply. You just give it a quick spritz and then let it dry for about 60 seconds. And this has never damaged or torn my cardstock, never had any problems with this. So I went ahead and sprayed that stencil and I positioned that so that it would hang off the left side of my A2 sized cardstock. And I'm just going to do some simple blending. I thought that I would just take Wild Honey Distress Oxide ink and do a flat blend of this one color all across my card, but I decided at the last second to bring in some scattered straw around the edges. So that Wild Honey, that kind of deeper orange color, is centered at the center of that Fall Mandala stencil, and then I'm coming around the outside with scattered straw, and I'm going to blend that out. I thought that I would leave that kind of a harsh edge, but I thought it was a little bit too harsh. So you're going to see me here going in and blending into that Wild Honey. The Distress Oxide inks really blend well together, so you don't have to put much effort in at all. Even though this video is sped up, you can tell that I didn't take hardly any time on this blending, and I have this pretty background. I wanted to add something special to this, so I grabbed my Shimmer Watercolors, and I have this new red watercolor that kind of has like a chunky shimmer to it. So I'm going to water this down, and then just I'm using a size 8 paintbrush for this, so because I wanted some bigger flicks. I'm just going to flick on that watercolor and then set that panel aside to dry. And while that dries, I will color my image. I'm using just one single image today. It's this really gorgeous mushroom image, but there's some pumpkins and leaves in there too. And this is from the Pumpkin Spice Gnome stamp set. I paused my video here so that you can take a screenshot of the markers that I used if you want to replicate my coloring. But I go pretty easy with my coloring, and I sped this up quite a bit because my coloring is very simple. I chose usually just 3 or 4 markers for each color that I want to use. In this case, I started with that R56 and I didn't like it. It was too kind of burgundy, so I just switched to that R39, and then I'm going in with R29, R27, and I'll finish off with R35 for my red blend. When I color, I start with my darkest marker and then work my way towards my lightest. So I'll go dark to medium to light. I find that that gives me more depth and more dimension without much effort. So I'm doing the same thing here with the kind of tan brown color for the underside and for the stalk of the mushroom. I used E57, E55, E53, and just a little bit of E51 on the stalk of the mushroom, but not on the underside. I eliminated that lightest color. That way it looks a little bit darker underneath. For my pumpkins, I just gave them some brown stems, and then I used YR09, 07, 04, and 02 for the pumpkins. I just started with my darkest, added just a line, following the line art of the stamp. So I added my darkest color, and then my darkest medium, then my lightest medium, and then my lightest color overall. To finish off this colored image, I took a white gel pen, and I'm adding in white to where those dots are on the mushrooms. That way, any of my Copic coloring that may have bled into those dots get covered up. And then I'm going to stamp my image right on top once again with a really dark black pigment ink. I find that no matter the coloring medium, be it watercolors, Copics, colored pencils, when you're coloring, the outline image of the stamp gets dulled down. So I like to stamp again after I'm done coloring. I stamped my sentiment from the Autumn Thanks stamp set and fussy cut that out. I glued that mushroom on with some foam tape, and then I also popped up that sentiment, and I'm going to go around the image with some Spectrum Noir shimmer pen to finish that off. And this card is going to be all finished. There's so much shimmer and shine here, from the background where I added that shimmer watercolor to the clear shimmer that I added on top of the colored image. I just love this card. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed the techniques I shared. Coming up on screen are some more videos that I thought you might enjoy. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.